Black flies, what the heck? What's going on? Today, I am at the, what's known as Eales Preserve, or the Dick and Nancy Eales Preserve at Moosic Mountain, the full name. And I don't know if you can see them, but there's like a million gnats flying around my head. I was out here, well, in the south tract of this, back in March. Did a real quick hike back to a reservoir that's up on the other side of this, and haven't been over in this section in quite a while. This was, I think this is originally going to be a state park back in before World War II, and then they changed their mind on that. They needed the money, so they sold the land. It was then going to be a like an industrial park. I think it might have been mined. This land has been through a lot, but the last time I was here, it was really dry. We've had a lot of rain in the area. I know it's been raining up on this mountain. Where I live is like down off this valley. In the middle here is the Lackawanna Valley. But I don't remember. I remember there being a pit here in places like this, but I don't remember there being water in it. But it's been maybe 4 years since I've been up in this section. So I'm gonna hike around here a little bit. It's a little different terrain over here than in the rest of this region. And even in spots where this wasn't mined. This is Moosic Mountain, and it's just unique over here. It's different. I mean, look how small the pines are. Like this, some of these, they're not new. I mean, these pines are, 20, 25 years old, maybe. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, so we're talking like 30 years ago. 30 to 40 years ago, when this was still closed off and you couldn't come in here. They were either mining this, or so that's probably when the last of the damage up here was done, these roads and stuff. So this stuff has had a chance to grow back for a couple decades now. It just doesn't grow real fast here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk down to go what the next trail is called. Basically it's gonna take me over to what's known as the Stonehenge Trail, and we're gonna go check that out. look at these little tiny scrub oaks. These things are so small. And it's only 2.5, 3 feet tall. There's all kinds of stuff growing up here. You got blueberries, you got raspberries, you got these scrub oaks, you got ferns. Made it along the conglomerate path, which is that sign right behind me there. So this trail actually splits. I took the, I guess this would be the eastern side of it. This kind of goes north-south, so I'm heading north. But there's another loop of it that goes down through that kind of thicket, that undergrowth down there. Keeping a close eye on the weather because it is supposed to rain. And the area is calling for severe hail and all that. I can see which way it's coming from, and I don't see anything coming yet, so I got a pretty good view. It's coming from the south, actually. It's kind of coming from the southwest, which I got a clear shot of that. So, which makes this perfect, because should the weather turn, I can always bail out up to the road, and then that kind of gravel road, and head right back to the parking lot. So I should be okay. If I get stuck out here, it's gonna suck because there's no protection. I'll get soaked. But gonna continue along over to the Stonehenge Trail and we'll go check that out. I've been over here before. It's pretty cool. So let's go see what we got. This is pretty cool. So I spent lots of time out here hiking in this kind of cleared section. And now I've headed into this young forest. Well, small forest, short forest, but I don't think it's all that young. This mountain's so rocky that things just don't grow fast here. Come to a junction, a Stonehenge Trail and the View Trail, and I took a picture of the map so I have it because there's no printed version of this anywhere that I can find. This is like a half mile, and I don't remember if I did this before or not. So I know it loops back up to right around the corner here, right over here, and so I'm gonna go check that out. It's just another half mile. It's starting to get really humid, but what can you do? I'm doing this hike. It's brought to you by coffee. Probably not the brightest idea, like hiking with coffee, but it's the adventure, right? So let's go check out the view. Made it out to section called the View, and do have a little view out that way. I do vaguely remember this section because it's not very well marked. So what I'm looking for are these cairns. I got one here, there's one there, but some of the section just kind of, it looks like trail. It's just open rock. So I just have to keep my eyes peeled for these little cairns. Thought you could see the whole valley from here, but I could be wrong. Maybe this isn't the spot I was thinking of. So you can see that there's another cairn right there, and if you look up there, there's one right there. So we'll continue. There's a big cairn right there. Oh, let's see what we got going on here. You see right there, there's one stacked up. I don't know if you can make that. Let's see if I can change the... Right there. Yeah. Sometimes if you don't have a tripod, you just wedge your extension pole in between some rocks. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. So on that, on a cairn. Guess that's what this little trail is. That's not the way I want to go. I have to look on the map, see what lake they're talking about. There's a couple of reservoirs up here. About a minute or two up the trail from where I just was, and this is more of a view here. Unfortunately, it's so hazy, you can't see a whole lot. It's actually hazy enough that out that way it almost looks like it's raining, but I checked the radar, there's no rain. We got a pretty good view of kind of the mid-valley. It's mid-valley out there, towards Carbondale, and then down through like Archbald and Jessup, and into Troop and Dunmore. So Scranton's out that way. You can't quite see over that far, not from here. But little haze, little bit of haze. I'm trying to do this without stepping off the rocks, because if you look here, there's a lot of this moss, and it's very brittle, this moss, and I don't want to damage it. That's not why I'm here. So whenever possible, I try to walk on the rocks. The trail, you know, where this stuff is, the trail is pretty much worn through, and it's right down to the rock. Ooh, slippery. So we'll continue on. I should meet back up with the Stonehenge Trail here in a second. I'm gonna go check out. Now Stonehenge, it's not a big circle of stones, but it is a pretty cool stone formation. Kind of unlike anything else that you see up in this whole section of the mountain. I know the camera's not picking that up. But like I said before, and I said on the live stream last night, if you want to really see it in high def, just go out and look at it. It's all in high def. There was a time where ooh, nice blueberries. Hold on, I'm gonna have some. Oh, there's a caterpillar over there too. What's that? Check him out. There he is. So, just right around the corner here, I heard a dog coming around the corner. So I stopped filming. Not everybody wants to be on camera, so I stopped filming. And little golden retriever, and this was his trail. So it was pretty cool. He was friendly. It was cool. But here we are at the Stonehenge portion. So you got that rock there. Got one here. This is not really Stonehenge, but just these big glacial boulders that were dropped here. So now, I've mentioned this before, that where I live, this area here is just north of where the glacial sheet stopped. When I was down in Hickory Run State Park a few months ago, I was talking about that, and the trails, a lot of trails in there actually cross that boundary where the glacier stopped, and you can tell the difference where there's boulders piled up and where there's not. When we were on the AT, that ridge where we were camping, that whole area, Wolf Rocks and all that was created by these rocks just getting pushed along the ground by these glaciers as they came through, and they just got deposited there. So that's what you run into a lot here. There's these big rocks that are out of place. You know, it's pretty cool. So that's kind of the end of that little section here, but not a bad little geological site to come across. It's easy to forget that just because this is how things look now doesn't mean this is how they're going to look in 100 years, 200 years. You know, the planet's always changing, and who knows what this was like before those glaciers came through. You know, this could have been a prairie. There's a lot of evidence that this area was seafloor at one point. So if you look at something like this, is all conglomerate rock, and you got, it's like concrete, right? This just looks like maybe quartz and granite. I don't know what's all in there. You see little rocks and a big rock. So good possibility that these little pieces of this were actually once the seafloor, and now they're up on top of a mountain. Nature's a powerful thing. Alright, so there's a trail that goes back that way, heads me right back out to that gravel road. If I remember correctly, we tried that last time I was here. It doesn't go anywhere, it ends. So I'm going to continue on Stonehenge, which I know takes me out to another gravel road. It takes me out a little bit further, but the gravel roads are pretty quick hikes, so I've got the time. Made it out to the end of Stonehenge Trail and into another kind of ecosystem here, and we get to see the new official state tree, Pennsylvania. The power pole. They're everywhere. And I don't know if the camera's gonna pick this up, but if you follow this line straight out, it goes down, goes across the valley, goes right up over that mountain, keeps on going up into New York, I think. And same thing on that side. It's just they're all over the place out here. So we're at the junction of the aptly named High Voltage Trail, the Stonehenge Trail I just came out of, and then the waterfall loop, which I've done before. And there, if I remember correctly, that's better. If I remember correctly, there was water out there, but it wasn't a lot. So I think that adds like 2 miles or something onto the trip, which wouldn't be bad. I've got time to do it daylight wise, but weather wise it's starting to get cloudy. I haven't seen anything on the radar as far as weather rolling in, and the Weather Channel app is just saying that it's supposed to start raining later today. But the way the weather is around here, that could mean right now it could just appear over us and start raining. And if they're calling for the storms that they, well, I should say, if we get the storms that they're calling for, I don't want to be up on top of a mountain with little to no cover and what could be like high winds, hail, and possible lightning. That's not what you don't want to be up on a rocky outcrop in the middle of a lightning storm. So I'll head up this trail a little ways. Still got some coffee left. Head up this trail a little ways, up to like I think 1, 2, 3 official state trees, and I think that's where the junction is for the main road. It's kind of like this, and then I'll hang it right there, and it's a pretty much straight shot back to the car. But if I remember correctly, there's a pretty nice view up there if it's not too hazy. So see what we got when we get up there. The wind is picking up, and this is so I don't know if you're gonna be able to hear me, but this is the kind of last spot where there's a view, but it's really hazy. And there's not, I mean, you can see the garbage dump down there, which is awesome. But we're heading straight down that road back out to the car. And I'm actually gonna move over to this. There's like a little nicer footpath here. It's not on that road. It's nice having the road, but the rocks are kind of loose and it's crappy on the ankles. You're not gonna be able to hear me, so I'll talk to you when I get back to the car. Okay. Made it back to the car. Was gonna try to GPS that, but the app I was using, between shooting in 4K with the camera and then running the GPS app, it was killing the battery, so it shut down just as I got done with the Stonehenge Trail. So I don't have I can figure out the mileage. Maybe I'll put it on the bottom here. Nice place to go. I remember the trails being a lot windier last time I was here. It wasn't that bad. Maybe it's more used now, and the trails are easier to find. But yeah, Eales Preserve, nice place, different ecosystem than you get in most places around here. And there's still a lot of trails. There's like 10 trails in here, and I was on 4 of them. All right, so I was on the main road trail. I was on the Conglomerate Trail, the Stonehenge Trail, and the View Trail. So you have four trails. So there's still quite a few, and some of them are pretty long. So still a lot to explore here, and that's just this section. I've been over to the other section. There's not as many trails, but it's nice over there, and another completely different environment. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and I will see you in the next. What's going on? So today, I'm gonna stop saying so. Okay, so I made it along the, stop saying okay. All right, so, again, all right, so just so